If fighting was a god, I would worship him. I would bow to him. I would pray for victory. For he only grants opportunities. But behind every god lurks a devil. And the devil wants me to take a dive. My name is Annatomic. And this is how my legend was made.
When footsteps fall in eldritch hollows, and spectres flee into the shadows, that is the time when horror's heroes abound, culling the ghouls that go bump in the night.
We all go a little mad sometimes. Haven't you? People always call a madhouse someplace. I hate to even think about it.
He's alive! He's alive!
Eight bells and all is well from the heart of Lovecraft country and the birthplace of American religious liberty. This is Pete's Alive. My name is Shanthan Jetty. You are watching Shanthan Jetty Art, painting Lovecraft's heroes, or I should say Lovecraftian horror, or painting horror's heroes, dare I say, in the heart of Lovecraft country. I am very excited tonight. We have got a killer movie for you guys, an unbelievable, amazing movie. I went through, I'm going to tell you all about that process of getting it edited and getting it put together for you guys, but I have to start with this, guys. Springball, you know the comic. You just saw the trailer for it. It's pinned to the top of the chat. Guys, the story for Springball and where this is going is awesome. It's the first issue of several issues. We'll see what the reaction is to it, whether it becomes something that's ongoing. I have, tons of ideas for this. The whole world is growing and growing and growing. And it's so cool and it's so exciting. And that first story is like... sort of like I would say it's kind of like Evil Dead 2, maybe in terms of scale, and then where it goes from there in future issues is just going to keep broadening and broadening. Awesome, awesome comic, and the work is looking so great, guys. I cannot wait to share more of it with you, but I'm loving the characters, loving where it's going. I hope you guys are doing well today. So tonight we're going to be watching a movie that I had seen parts of. I had probably seen it an incredibly low resolution on, broadcast or something like that. But a movie called The Unknown. Now, this is a movie that is absolutely extraordinary. And what was so wild about watching it, and I watched it, well, as I was editing it, but I watched it a couple of, was it a couple of weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. And I went, this is a movie for what we need now. This is a movie with some really important lessons and some really amazing insights. And a lot of the movies during the silent era did that. They pulled no punches. And what was refreshing, and it was something we were talking about, I think the other night on one of the streams, we were talking about comics, we were talking about heroes, is that the way that villainy is articulated in this movie and so many of the movies from this time is so spot on. It's so incredible and it's so mythic in terms of how it's communicated. You're dealing with these archetypes, but you're dealing with these behaviors and these attitudes that just put on different skins every generation, but the motivation, the attitude, and the mechanisms of how they work are just applied to the tools of the time. And that's the thing that I'm realizing as I work on and I develop Springball, Nosfero, and all the comics I do here at Shanthan Jetty Art. But it's going forward into some of the fun stuff we're doing. I'm working on a new show for this channel that I'm still writing it, and it's gonna be funny. It's gonna I'll let you judge whether it's funny, but it's gonna be crazy, and I'm really looking forward to doing it. So let me talk a little bit about what you guys are gonna see. What's up, Corey Landis? It's good to see you. Evil just gets more annoying as time goes on. I will say this, Corey Landis, and you can hold me to this when we get through this movie and we watch this movie, and I'm gonna be talking about this all the way through. Um, is what's funny is that what I feel like I'm about to say, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing people that he didn't exist. I think in this case, the greatest trick that evil does, generation to generation, what it does is it puts on the mask of good and the mask of righteousness by playing into these tendencies that people have. But if you understand the structure of evil, as it is so beautifully put out there in this movie, The Unknown, starring the incomparable Lon Chaney, senior from, as you know him as the classic Phantom of the Opera, the classic Hunchback of Notre Dame, or Notre Dame in some ways. And I would say, I think that Charles Lawton gives him a run for his money. And what's up, John? It's great to see you, brother. But he's incredible incredible in this movie. Everybody's incredible in this movie. And if you haven't seen it before, you're in for a treat. But here's the big thing. So I went through this flick. I found a decent source for it online, and I was kind of excited about it. I said, all right, let's see where this goes. And I went online. I was looking at it, and as I looked at it, the thing that I started to realize is that it wasn't they found it in good resolution, but the resolution that I found on this film, which has the amazing Joan Crawford in the early on in her career in a silent film role, is that it had these really painful every cut of the film, every cut of this film, guys. There is a unfortunate flicker, because that's where the film tends to age asymmetrically. It tends to age and it tends to break down right on those cuts. So when I say that I did this, it's crazy. I lost a few frames here and there, but starting at about 15 to 20 minutes into this film, maybe less than that, maybe it's 10 minutes in, what I did and why it's taken so long for this episode of Pete's Alive is I edited out those frames, which was really a tough call to make, where the picture jumps around in the frame and then it flashes a strobe and there's lines across it. Because what I realized was, and it was hours and hours of work to do that. So I took out all of those little bumps. In some cases, I even made overlays where there was a scratch during a really important scene. It's not perfect, but I want to give you guys the best possible watching experience that I possibly can. The other thing about it is that I went through and there were these interstitials. And I don't know who did them or who put this on there, but there was, and maybe he did some new interstitials and wanted his name on there, but it wasn't a name. And it had these initials and then 2022 on every single title card on there. So, with all due respect to the person, it takes you completely out of the flick. So I went through and I knocked those out so that you can have a pure watching experience with this film. And this film absolutely holds up. So let's see here. That's annoying. Were those keyframes? Well, here's the thing, John. Those are just anytime the film gets cut, as it ages over time, if it's a cross dissolve or something like that, they're putting this film together, it ages differently there, and it probably wasn't smooth from the get-go, but there you start to see a lot of move as it passes through the scanning device for DVD or video or whatever they were scanning this from. And then it's such a cool film. And I want you guys to experience it as we do with all these things. I try to create an atmosphere where you come in, and if you love monsters, you love horror, you love cinema, you love all the things we love here, this movie's going to hit you like a ton of bricks. There were moments where I stepped back and went, whoa, wow, what? It's that kind of flick. My wife loves films in this era. I'm used to the flickers and such. Huge Lon Chaney fan. Yeah, Lon Chaney was just an extraordinary artist and performer. What's up, my man Mark's Music Obsession is in the house. Hail, brother. It's great to see you, man. Boy, you picked the right time to come in here because this flick is a winner. So what I want to make sure we do as we go into this movie, as we watch this incredible film, is to look at a couple of things and to just put these in the back of your mind. So Carl Laemmle Sr., the founder of Universal Pictures, was an immigrant to this country. I think that he worked in Mock. It's Mock, says Lord Henson, Comic Skater. He absolutely, Tiny Effort has checked in. Hail and welcome, Tiny Effort. What he did was he started out working in all these different kinds of industries. Then he eventually bought a movie house, a movie palace, started showing movies, then started creating small movies for that. And then he started giving good deals to the creative talent, the actors, saying, I will pay you more than other studios will. I want you to bring your artistic ability and your craft here. And that's what built Universal Studios. Carl Laemmle, referenced in Big Trouble in Little China. The funeral of Laemmle is a reference, jokingly, to Carl Laemmle Sr., who founded it. And he understood you had to it's the Comics Gateway, right? It's everything that you do when you're promoting stuff and you're doing work and you're YouTubing, all of it. You have to get butts in seats. So what do we need? We need something that's going to shock you a little bit. We need a love story. We need a literal or figurative monster or both if we can do it. We need a handsome leading man. We need a sexy leading lady. And we need spectacle. We need to show the audience things where they go, oh my gosh, because it's a literal spectacle. Or, which is to say, you're going to see some circus performing acts where they actually got performers to come in. or it's going to be a sleight of hand cinema spectacle that you might be able to figure out. But if you can imagine this, looking at it and saying, oh my gosh, in the theater in 1927. And this movie is almost 100 years old. 98 years young, this film. A great picture, a spectacular picture, a tight 1 hour. Can you imagine? And you're going to have an experience where you go, holy cow. And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. All of these movies, everything I do in comics, I remember I was talking to my wife about the wonderful Mrs. Ingetti, about Nosfero the Crypt Walker, and about Springball and what the differences were. And I said, in Springball, I've got to give you monsters. I have a cute, kind of female character in Springball, but she's not really in that role of being the eye candy. I've got to have drama. But I have to have crazier compositions. I have to have double page spreads, and I have to have a story that just kind of hits you in the face with all my stuff. Nosfero's a little different. Nosfero's indeed, John. Nosfero's a little different because in Nosfero, I have to bring something different. The pulp, the sexiness. So when you buy Springball, you're going to get some kick-ass double page spreads, all those things you love about comics, some awesome cartooning, some painterly and textural rendering, but a balls to the wall, no pun intended, adventure action comic and a new story with new characters that is for now, for right now. It's not nostalgic. It's timeless is the goal. Now with Nosfero, it's the same attitude except for it's fully painted. So I've got to bring you some sexiness. I've got to bring you a little bit of tasteful nudity of the female form. I've got to bring you really well described visual creatures in that Lovecraftian sense. But the goal is 100% audience based. And that's why, at least for me personally, that's why I love what Carl Laemmle was doing in those early Universal pictures, and his son, Carl Laemmle Jr., did with the Universal monsters we all know starting in 1931. He made a play for him, and he made it happen. Tiny Effort says, Sean, in the original Springball, there was a sexy lady Midge. Yeah, she's still in it. Don't worry. Will she make a return? Yes, she will. And let me tell you this, guys. When you're watching this movie in the first couple of minutes, yeah, you got to. You absolutely have to. You're going to see two things. You're going to see a sexy leading lady and a risque little scene, I should say. Not risky and risque. In the form of a young Joan Crawford. But you're also going to see a sexy bit of man candy. And in the movie, in this scene, you're going to see the audience is catcalling at them, whichever one was up for that moment, and going, oh my gosh, ooh, look at her, she's hot, and oh man, look at him, and all the women are leaning in. They were saying to the audience, this is why you're here. This is okay. Enjoy, beautiful people. And man, wouldn't that be nice to have. But we can do it. That's what I'm doing in my comics. That's my guarantee to you guys. So without further ado, let's take a look at The Unknown, a stunning movie, and I tip my cap to everybody involved, from the cast to the lighting to the producers to the art directors. Everyone involved in this movie did a spectacular job, and it's an honor to put this movie out there and in front of you guys for Pizza Live. So let's do this thing. Here we go. Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be an outstanding ride. And before I get started even with that, I got to make sure that I say hello to my man, Spaceman. Mod, it is good to see you, brother. How are you doing, Spaceman? You picked the right time to be here, Lucille. Let's do this thing. So, bang. Look at that. The pizza is hot. The screen is big. Cinema. Amazing. Just amazing. I love this. Yep. Hot pizza, guys. If you're in the mood for pizza, reach in the screen, grab yourself a slice. That's how it goes at Pizza Live. It's whatever piece of pizza you want it to be when you grab it. It's magic. Alonzo, Lon Chaney, Norman Carey is Malabar, and Nanan, or Nanon, I think it is. I can't remember how to pronounce her name. Is Joan Crawford, the incomparable Joan Crawford. So we've got some stars, but watch this. The story they tell in Old Madrid, it's a story they say is true. Already with the poetics. Love it. Just love this so much. Here you go. Incredible. Look at that. Almost looks like the kind of gothic experience you would see in the end of Batman 1989 with the incredible production designer Anton Furst. Now look at that. A glass painting, a matte painting, on a studio shot. Look at that. We're at the circus. Incredible. Isn't that great? Home from our Thursday night Mexican. Oh, Mexican food is so good. Mexican dinner pizza looks and smells great. Amen. Love Mexican food though too. Oh my gosh. As long as it ends in con carne, I'm all set. I'm gonna eat it. Look at that. And here we go. No CGI. Cranking that camera. Old school. This is spectacle. If the circus didn't come to your town, but the motion pictures did, you got the best seat in the house, and this is made to be viewed on that screen. And here's this kid sneaking in to watch the circus. Look at that. And then there are the ladies, and there's the guy. And the kids are doing their bit because, my God, man. Circus performers. There's some more ladies and some kids and some families, and then they run across. And here we go. We're about to get an introduction to the man who runs it. You all know me, Antonio Zanzi, and my gypsy circus. Here you go. Back when being an extra was more exciting. Amen. And now the sensation of sensations, the wonder of wonders, Alonzo the Armless. This is going to be important. And look at this. Here comes Lon Chaney Sr. Yeah, their ingenuity was incredible when setting scenes. Yep. These guys were mastering cinema very early on in its invention. That's incredible. There's stuff in this that will still not be topped. Look at this. No, in his case, absolutely shoot, John. Absolutely do. So here we get Joan Crawford, the daughter, just so everybody knows, in this death-defying act is my own daughter. That's important. Very important. CGI is awesome, but simultaneously I feel like it's overdone and actually subtracts from a good storytelling sometimes, especially when it's overused. You know, here's the interesting thing, Tiny Effort. It's the same thing as glass paintings in the movies back then. If they used it to the point to where you knew it, look at this. Just give me a wide shot without any lens warping. Let me see the scene. So now he's on a spinning track. Look at how cool this is. She's being walked around, and he is using a rifle with his feet to shoot. And who's in the audience? Uh-oh. Shoot, brother, shoot, till the last leaf falls. So already you get a little bit of titillation starting out in this flick, because that's what these movies are about. These movies are the same things that my comic books are. So all comics are, just go straight to people. Give them something they like, and here you go. Ain't you got no it about you? Oh, yeah, that guy looks like he might be dead. You might want to check his pulse. And here you go, guys, with his feet. My God. And she's striking a pose. Vaudeville-esque. Yes, vaudeville brought right to your town. Look at this. Go home and take off my dress. That's outstanding. They've all come to see their favorites. You know? Good Lord. Now here you go. A little something for the ladies. And remember, where modern movies fall down is in this aspect. They are not equal opportunity. And of course, just like the fellas, the ladies are all lined up because they're saying, this is what you want to see. This is what you want to see. You want to see supreme specimens. You want to see beautiful people. You want to see stars. It's healthy. It's normal. It's what it should be about. So here you go. It's a very strange thing to show how people who are far less from the specimens are what we're putting on screen. They were always in these movies. Yes, inspirational. Thank you, John. These are inspirational figures. He's the strong man. There it is. And then they show you more feats, more incredible things happening. And then, of course, the armless guy, of course, is talking, who is Lon Chaney Alonso. You are right, Alonso. Brute strength does not mean everything to all women. Here you go. Here's our first little glimpse, guys. Here's our first little glimpse into where we are as a society. You know, strength and good looks isn't everything. That is true, but it's not nothing. And everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Calm down on, you love Malabar or you would not be jealous. Oh, okay, yeah. So she finds him attractive, and she feels, and she has this thing, which is a heavy subject matter when you think about it. Yeah, perhaps greater showmanship back then. Yeah, absolutely greater showmanship. It was all about how you show things, but look at this. She doesn't like to be touched. Talk about this. She hates being handled by people. And by men. There's this dark side to that. Whoa! Shanth, I walked into sexiness. Yes, you did. I like these old girls in movies. Audrey Hepburn is my favorite. Yep. My mentor paints Audrey Hepburn, he said, once a year because she is one of the hardest people to capture the likeness of. An incredible face she has, Mikey, 100%. So yeah, so he grabs him by the nose. If you have issues with feet, this movie's gonna be rough for you, but here you go. He grabs him with his foot and says, get the heck out of here. In a lot of ways, that character to me, when I'm looking at them, is like a version of him, but with arms. Oddly. Alonzo, all my life men have tried to put their beastly hands on me, to paw over me. Here we go. I have grown so that I shrink with fear when any man even touches me. So now we've got this character that has a really interesting situation. She likes men. You are wise, always fear them, always hate them. Who is he saying to always fear and always hate? Men. What is he? A man. Does that remind you of anything going on today? Yeah, I guess it won't be an issue with him. Oh, you wish, Corey. Corey, let me tell you something. This movie has more twists and turns than a corkscrew. But there you have the male feminist. Oh, I hate men too, girlfriend. You can trust me. Do you get it? This is capturing the... And I remember that hit me immediately when that scene happened. And I had no idea how true that was going to be as a character in this movie. So here you go. She likes him. He's attractive. If it takes 10 million years, I will keep saying I love you until you believe me. He loves her. She likes him. But she has something in her life, something in her experience, her past experiences, that is keeping her from happiness. And that is amazing. You know what I mean? No one will get her, no one but me. How's that for a loving guy? No, you're right to fear men. No one will have her but me. Huh. That's a little bit creepy. Yep, see? Here we go. And he's trying to show off his muscles. They work with everyone else. And she's afraid. What is she afraid of? Yeah, unarmed man is all up in arms. Yes, he is. Does he have a picture of himself with a cute cat on social media? I bet you he does. I bet you he does. Hi, Sean, by the way. So, yeah, why do you always draw away from me? So here's the thing. She sees him. She's attracted to him. She likes him. And yet she can't handle his touch because he is a man and she has past previous experiences with men. Now, the question here is not about inability, right? If you've never slapped anybody in the face, but you don't have arms, is that really an accomplishment? If you want to slap them in the face more than anything? Like, that's kind of where your character is. It's a very strange thing. And look at how sad she is. She's sad over that. She's trapped. And by the way, holy hell. That's incredible, man. Just having his cigarette with his feet. Yeah, and he's extra strong, what scares her. He's also extra handsome, and he has a certain kind of way about him. So now let's talk about Mr. Muscles here. What kind of dude is he? Is he an asshole? Is he a jerk? Right? I mean, when I think about how we portray strong people in movies typically, we either try to make them a joke, stupid, a source of laughter, or we try to make them evil. And it's the characters like Lon Chaney Sr. in this movie that we're meant to identify with. How many horror movies have we seen now? How many times have we seen horror movies, or I should say horror movies, how many pop culture movies have we seen now where they take a Disney villain and attempt to go, she was just misunderstood. Wicked. She was just misunderstood. It's a very postmodernist idea. I'm not saying that all those movies are bad or they have to be evil or whatever else. It's not about that. But it's about the idea of how we try to muddy the waters in terms of what is a villain versus a hero. Like every person is a hero in their story. But not every person is a hero in our story or in his story. And so here you go. Look at her. She feels bad because she has a problem that is keeping her from joy in her life. Men without power consider themselves good men. Exactly right. And you see a lot of this. Yeah. This came down with the whole attitude of saying things like don't punch down. You have to punch down sometimes when a tiger shark bites down on your leg. Or when you're covered in fire ants and you're bigger than them. It's a crazy way to look at things. Defend yourself. That's that. And look at that. In a world without arms, I could be happy. What she is thinking, what she is feeling is leaning into it. It's the opposite of exposure therapy. Yep, and he is gaslighting her big time. John, we think we know how much he's gaslighting her at this point in the movie. It's beyond words where this goes. Beyond words. Headless bourgeoisie, what's up, my brother? How you doing, man? Or when you're wrestling missions, exactly right. Especially if they have a knife or something. And it's good to see you, Headless. Channel member, it is great to have you here, man. But look at young Joan Crawford. And look at him. He brings her a nice garment. Says, look at this. So now we have to figure out, like, we've got 1 hour start to stop on this movie. Time is money. Film is money. Right? We've got to make sure this thing works. That's how I view comics. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, was it 11 pages to tell the origin of Spider-Man in Amazing Fantasy 15? That's what I want to get back to. I don't want anybody, when they read my comic stories, it's going to be tough with SPRINGBALL because it's got to have that, it's going to be a part one, it's got a cliffhanger to it. But I always want you to feel as though you've gotten exposed to enough for the page count got you where you needed to go. And these are my heroes. These are my heroes. What's up, JWK Creates? It's great to see you. Hail, brother. So she gets this new garment from him, and there's her father. And it makes you wonder, right, if this is the example of men in her life. Authoritarian as opposed to authoritative. She works for him. A part of the job is putting him in danger. Doesn't want any other guy around her. So he takes that cloth off, and here you go. Off to work. All right, take care, my friend. Take care, Tiny Effort. We'll see you soon. Putting crazy ideas in her head. So this is what these movies did such a great job of. We're at 15 minutes in, and now we got to see, bam, he punches this guy without arms to the ground. What does our strong man do? Now he's hitting him with his cane. Putting up a decent fight, that Lon Chaney Sr. And the strong man with the arms grabs the dude and pulls him off of him. And you see that he's got a sidekick that's a little person. And that's important too, because they're two kinds of the same metaphor right there, visually. So here's the strong man. He comes in and he protects the guy. So he's not even a bad guy. What toppings pizza you get, Sean? Let me tell you something, man. Whatever pizza it is that you love, you reach in the screen, you grab that piece, and it's that pizza. This is a magical place. It's a place of magic. And so he's like 1,000 thank yous. And all this guy is, he's one of the best kinds of people. Look at that. And she sees him. He's a protector. He would never hurt her. Ever. The fact that he's strong, the capacity to do something doesn't mean you do it. You have to develop your capacities, but then you also have to develop your character. And that's what this character is about. He's got good character. This guy will use whatever capacity he has to get an edge and to get what he wants to control things. And he goes, you have her in your heart. Now, he supposedly cares about her, and he's like, in my heart, in my soul, in my blood. Poor bastard. He's talking to the devil, and he doesn't know it. Oof. And look what he says. You are fortunate. You have arms and strength that she loves. You guys ever hear this from the poisonous little envious voices you see often? Why does this person have this and I don't? Aren't they lucky? I've had people tell me how lucky and fortunate I am with a little drop of poison. Meekness is not weakness, but power and strength under control. Yes, exactly right. He's humble. And he's like, let me give you some advice. And he says, go to her. Take her in your arms. He knows that upsets her. Kojo, I said no one is going to have her. No one but me. So he's possessive. Hey, Tammy D, it's great to see you, girl. How you doing? Welcome, welcome to Tammy D. So this guy is giving him bad advice. The bad advice is to keep them distant. But more importantly, he's telling someone to do to her the thing she hates the most. Do you get it? He is not a friend. He doesn't care for her. He only wants to own her. And that, by the way, is the metaphor for the dragon, which I loved when Joseph Campbell talked about this. The dragon is guarding two things, gold, typically, and virgins. And he can't make use of either of them. He just wants to hold and control them. And in mythology, Joseph Campbell would say that the dragon is a metaphor for the binding of one's own self to oneself to one's own ego. And this guy is all ego. Now, here it comes. Hey, what's up, General Piggy? It's great to see you, brother. How you doing, man? Hail. Brace yourselves. No pun intended. Oh, I'm so glad to hear it, Tammy. Yeah, everybody's been getting sick. There's a lot of that going around. And there you go. Oh, God. I've had that before. It's horrendous. Bless you, Tammy. I hope you're feeling better. Take a look at what we have got, guys. Take a look at what we have got. A wolf in sheep's clothing. That's what it is. That's what it is. He is lying to everyone, including her, for his own means, for his own gain. He's in hiding for a very particular reason. And take a look at what we're going to see here. Ta-da! This freaked me out when I saw it. He has a hand with 2 thumbs. That's right. One of his hands has 2 thumbs on it, his left hand. That, what would the police give to know I have hands and who I am? What would the police want to know that for? This is Lon Chaney Sr. There they are, Kojo, and Zanny may be another to find out I have them. So he's a very evil man, and he has this particular character trait to his hands that would make him caught for past crimes. Understood, Tammy. So here we go. So yeah. Male feminist in a nutshell. No, I don't even have any interest in that. Passive-aggressive manipulation and control. Krogar the Dane, how are you doing, my friend? Or is it Hrothgar the Dane? I think it's Hrothgar the Dane. Hail Sean, this is one of my favorite. It's so good, man. It's so good. Favorite films. He Who Gets Slapped is Another. I'll have to check that out. That's a great recommendation. I gotta check it out. And here you guys go. Remember, this is her father. And he goes, I've been waiting for you to teach you that my orders are law, because he's going to see her. Incredible. We've got 74 people watching. We've got 18 on YouTube, and the rest of you guys are on X. Feel free to drop in, drop a like, share this out, and here you go. And now he's figured out that he has arms. Here you go. Oh, Last Kingdom is fantastic. And then she hears the struggle outside. And here you go. This is where it happens. And what does she see? A man with those arms and that hand with the 2 thumbs on it. And he realizes that she could see him. And what's he done? He's killed her father. And that is where we get to by 22 minutes into this film. We have a character who is running from the police, pretending to have no arms, working in a carnival, in love with the daughter of the owner of the carnival, who is running the place. She's in love with a strong man in the circus, but she doesn't act with the guy on the run from the law, pretending to have no arms. He is desperate to control her, and already he's killed her father and given the wrong advice to a man who she wants, could make her happy, and instead of helping her, he's encouraging her to lean into the things that make her isolated and pull her out of this world that she wants to be in, a world of life. All these movies were about that. They were about the way of life versus the way of death. And that's what makes it incredible. So now there's an investigation. Yep. Who has 2 thumbs on one hand? That would be the guy pretending to have no arms right here, playing the guitar with his feet. That's the Lon Chaney Sr. character. So on his left hand, he has 2 thumbs. He goes, get your fingerprints taken to everybody. When he gets to him, he's like, got no arms. There you have it. Yeah, I love it. Sorry, I didn't read the rest of that. Who has 2 thumbs on one hand and 1 on the other? This. I got it, Tammy. I'm just a little slow on the uptake. God help me. Oh, Lord. I love it. I love it, Tammy. Look at this guy. And he's happy. He's just brought the whole house down. What will happen, Alonzo, if they sell the circus to pay my father's debts? Good for him. That's what he wants. Yeah, OG gangster movie, 100% Mikey. 100%. Mikey Getz has got it. Yep. And what's going to happen? Well, if the circus collapses, then all the performers will go away. And she'll be isolated. Now, this is a shot where there was, right where she's standing by the door, there was a line, a scratch in the film that was running, and I actually hand removed that with an overlay because it really hurt that shot. And it's a beautiful thing. This is 1927, Tammy D. 1927. Incredible. And thank you, Mike. Excellent. And so there he is, having his tea with his feet, getting it done. And again, look at the staging in this. Look at that shot of her standing by the doorway. Can you imagine not repairing that? A lot of times when I'm doing this stuff for you guys, I'm always thinking about how I can make it the best experience possible. Totally not his foot, by the way. There's no way. But really well done. And look at her. Joan Crawford. She's meant to be the woman that you see and you adore. That's not something that you can just fabricate. It's that charisma, it's that power, it's that elegance, it's that beauty, and the same thing goes for the guy. He's packing off, she misses him, but what's she gonna do? You know, what's she gonna do? She can't act on it. He's like, I will continue to love you. What is up, Leg Kick One? It's great to see you, brother. How you been? Yeah, that's Joan Crawford, Tammy. Look at how young she is. She's a kid. And again, look at that beautiful set they have of the carnival heading out, and she feels like she's lost him. Meanwhile, her pretending to have no arms friend. I mean, man, they just, how many beautiful, and by the way, look at the cross behind her and the door. It's not an accident. Yeah, Mommy Dearest herself. Absolutely right. That was what was so funny about watching this. I kept thinking of that. The circus is gone. Every caravan. Why did we not travel with them, Alonso? I'll tell you why. Control. Control. I'm okay, Sean Jetty. Busy at work. Understood. A lot of crazy stuff today. I hear you, man. I hear you. Yeah. Yep. No wire hangers. You know it. You know it, Headless Bourgeoisie. Mark's Music Obsession dropping the Pizza Live emojis. If you're a channel member, guys, you drop those away in the chat. My gosh, I'm looking at all the levels everybody's at, and it's great to see you guys making your way up the ranks of channel members. I just updated the credits for this one tonight. Look at this, and he came back to give her flowers. And man, does that just burn that guy up. Burns Alonzo up. I could not go away without telling you again that I will love you always. So there's a handsome guy, strong and capable, even rescued Lon Chaney Sr. Alonzo when he was getting beaten up by her father. And he still despises him, and he takes great joy in them being separated. Incredible. What a, perfect definition of a monster. Love it, Tammy. And he's so happy because, and how can he be, look at that shot though, guys. How can he possibly be happy knowing that someone that he supposedly loves is being separated by something and a way of life that she wants? Simple. He doesn't love her. He hates her. And he wants to control her. That's it. That's it. I am so sorry Malabar put his hand on you again. Just underlining that. Not the flowers. That. Ugh. And Lon Chaney's incredible in this. Absolutely incredible. Yep. His face is acting. Everybody is. Even the supporting cast. Lon Chaney was such a masterful actor. Yes. He does in silence what actors today can't do. I've watched his face throughout this entire flick. And he just is incredible. And now she's got the flowers, and he gets the kiss. And an interesting point of this, and God, I gotta highlight that again. Lon Chaney is such a master. Lon is the gentleman pretending to have no arms there. Kojo, did you see her? She kissed me. She kissed me, And Lon Chaney, he's the famous Phantom of the Opera. The one we all know. The nose pulled back. He did all his own makeup. He was a very intense actor. She goes, she will feel that you have arms if she hugs you. This guy is terrified for him. Uh-huh. He's scared. He's scared of his friend. Kojo will never tell. He's like, if you tell, you're dead. And that's where you see. That is what he wants. Yeah, you saw him lip, I'll kill you. There's nothing I will not do to own her. Nothing. Do you understand? Nothing. Whew. Yeah. Watching/reading old shit makes me feel like I was born in the wrong generation. Me too. And there she is. By the way, a big shot where she's isolated. That's important. Because if you want to show somebody's alone, you want to have a wide shot for it. And she looks to where we know the caravan was. And it's gone. It's terrible. Just terrible. And look at what a vision she is as the light comes in through the window. Yes, he's also in the star, or he's also the star in He Who Gets Slapped. I have to check it out. 1924. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, I'm going through a bunch of old movies right now. Just incredible. Yeah, I will put that on my list. And look at that, he's still, this guy, God bless him, is still there. Heartbreaking. Here you go. And you just know when you saw these movies that these two people of similar spirit, similar kindness, they're being kept apart by just the fates, things they need to work through, things that they need to understand, things she needs to reveal to him. And let's be clear, if she would feel better in a relationship with a man if he had no arms, that doesn't say a lot of great things for her either, right? It's take all the bad words I don't want to hear out of the world. Take all the art that might offend me. Take anything that might be a danger. Disarm everybody, so to speak. That's not the way it works, guys. No, that's not Lon Chaney. Lon Chaney was the guy she was with before. Chris Kattan looks like the little guy. You're absolutely right, he does. He looks like Kojo. Yeah, and look at him. Look what he does right here. I know what you fear. Look at her. My God. Someday that fear will die. Giving hope for the possibility. People who believe things will go for you better. You will find me near you always, waiting. And so he lowers himself down, lowers his head, keeps his hands to himself, and that's such a charming and noble and romantic character. And here you go. Kojo, I've got to have her. She's got to marry me. Lord. This is exactly what it's about. Power and control. You know, it's worth mentioning that Ted Bundy, during his many of his initial crimes, would approach people with a Volkswagen Bug, acting like his car had broken down, and with his arm in a sling, pretending to have it injured his arm. Just saying. It pretty much is the strategy of these people. I'm weak. I could never do that. Those are the dangerous people. Those are the dangerous people. But you forget she saw her father strangled by a hand with 2 thumbs. She's gonna find out. 3 thumbs up for this movie. Woohoo, Tammy D celebrates 21 months. I gotta play a cheerleader for you at the end of this. Woohoo, I know it's been longer than that, but so glad to help you, Sean. What you do is amazing. Thank you so much, Tammy D. I appreciate it so much. And this is where you start realizing the full depths of this man's depravity. Kojo, man, can we take a moment? Kojo, find better friends. You know what I'm saying, little man? You can do better. You can't fall out of the basement, kid. God dang, his face is expressive. Look at that. Incredible. Love it. Let me see, Tammy. I missed the plot of this. Oh, okay. Well, let me give you an overview, Tammy. Let me give you an overview. There's a circus and a carnival that comes to town. That's a gypsy circus. And the owner of the circus's daughter is the female lead that you've just been seeing. And she is in an act with a man who has no arms. And he shoots a gun at her on a rotating thing and sort of taking off clothes, although she remains fully clothed, or clothed by today's standards, certainly. And then he throws knives and doesn't hit her. It's one of those classic things. And he is a criminal on the run, we learn, when he unveils that he has arms. And because he has 2 thumbs on one hand, it would be easy to connect him to all of his past crimes. So he's in hiding. She, in the meantime, has her eyes set on this wonderful strong man, but she's afraid to be touched. So she has leaned into the arms of the devil, obviously meant not literally, because he doesn't have any arms, even though he does. And he is doing things to keep her frightened and to keep her under control. And she is stuck. He then murders her father when her father finds out that he has arms. And she witnesses, and she sees his hands, not him. And so now he's kind of between a rock and a hard place. And what's he gonna do? Gosh, thank you, Mikey. But I was watching Trashcast before I came in here. It's a great show. But think about this for a minute. This dude starts saying, I have an idea so that I can have her. And his friend is like, nah, dude. No. Yep. And then he contacts somebody, leave the door to your operating room open and be there at midnight alone. And he goes to see a doctor. Sweet baby Jesus. Yes, John. Yes, John. And also, oh no, indeed. By the way, look at what a great shot that was. Here he is. There's the doctor. Thank you, John. Yes. And how? This was a movie, and look at how that's like his little version of him in terms of how he's dressed. And then you see the look in his eyes. Oh, the chat is amazing. A farewell to arms, says General Piggy. And here you go. Oh, snap. He knows. Yep, Tammy D knows. John knows. Yep. You're here to blackmail me? It's money you want? So clearly he has used this guy's services before. Clearly. I don't know if he did a hit for him, but oh my god, that poor guy. I love the shot in the shadow, and I love the surgery. Look at the how beautiful his face photographs on film. Yep. Body dysmorphia before it was cool. And what was he wearing to conceal his arms? By the way, Hrothgar the Dane. What was he wearing to conceal his arms? Think about that for a minute and think about how completely apropos this film is to where we find ourselves today. The thing that he needs to get rid of is that thing inside of his mind. And face justice. And be careful that I do not die in the operation because I left a letter telling who you are. Wow. It's quaint. He doesn't even want... That's right. He doesn't even want to remove... Yeah, exactly. Well, I think it's the thing about it that's even kind of scarier is he's still a dangerous man. And he is a man who is willing to lie, to pretend to be something he's not, to gain access to women in intimate scenarios. Very interesting. Wow. Can't imagine being that doctor either. He must have some dirt on that doctor. Yep. Yep. Surgery fatalities were probably really high back then, particularly for something as traumatic to the body. You know, Tammy? I kept thinking that myself. Now here you go. Those two are still hanging out. He keeps his hands to himself, and he keeps distance. He is being patient with her, but he is being with her. And then she trips and falls, and he catches her. And watch what he does. He's frozen. And then he puts his hands behind his back. Look at that. Beautiful. This is how you write romance in an hour. I am not afraid anymore, Malabar, she says. All my foolish fears are gone. And then he puts his hands out, but does not take her hands. And there you go. They lit her eyes perfectly. They sure did, didn't they? Meanwhile, we got a incoming psycho ready for a rude awakening. You're recovering rapidly. You'll be able to leave in a few weeks. Yep, childbirth is still dangerous to this day. I don't celebrate till the kid's born. I'm the same, Mikey. I'm the same way, man. I was the absolute same way. Yep, he is a true gentleman, and we gotta we've got to start talking about what a gentleman is. A gentleman is neither envious. Think about this. This guy is getting beat up by the father when the father was angry. Look at her. She's happy now. She has joy in her heart. That's what he wants to keep from her. What's up, Darth Gutierrez? How you doing, brother? What's up? What's up? It's good to see you, man. But we must wait until Alonzo returns. I want him with us at our wedding, she says. Oh, man, if I could just tell her a few things we know as an audience. He's on the run from the police. He really has arms. He's killed people, but then he cut his own arms off. You know, those kinds of things. A little bit of intel. Maybe she should check his social media. And so there they go. They come home. He's using his feet because he's already mastered the art of using his feet as arms. So he doesn't have to really pretend anymore now that he's lost his arms. What she doesn't know really can hurt her. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. And again, look at this. It's just beautifully done. I don't know about you guys, because we talk about CGI, but I don't think CGI necessitates you having to move the camera constantly. You know? I think that's the bigger problem. The constant bombardment of imagery. You know, and that's really a shame. Because sometimes I want to watch something, I don't want to be, you know, attacked by it. It's just annoying. Pretty sure his balance would be jacked nonetheless. Absolutely right, his balance would be fantastic. Yeah, if you've ever tried to walk around like that, that's not easy to do. And then he's a man obsessed. A creature obsessed, so to speak. Oh, there you go. Yeah, the outfits are greatness. Yep, beautiful. According to military documents, surgical fatality rates were as high as 56% for major surgeries. I don't doubt it one bit. And I was looking at the early... What was it? Yeah, the early 1800s, I was looking at birth fatalities, and it was astronomical. Go back and ask what theater. So she's performing in a theater. There she is with her fella. But it's strange. I've never heard from Alonzo. Not one word since he went away. Yeah, he's recovering from a surgery. And again, look at this. Incredible stuff. And there he is with his feet together. Yep, from 1927, yep. I don't know what the current rate is, but it was awful back then when Mary Shelley was born. Yeah, from 1927, I can't even imagine. Yeah, from 1927, that's horrific, I should say. My God. Yeah, CGI is annoying. I hate the superhero movies rely on it so much. It's so funny. They had so many tools in this flick. You're going to see a crane shot of the camera moving in, which was incredibly rare and would have been like a roller coaster ride to the 1927 audience. But it's special because it's not in every shot. We use every tool for every shot in cinema, current contemporary cinema. You should send for Malabar to come to your wedding, ha ha ha, with his big strong arms. Like they're mocking the idea that the other guy would be invited to his wedding, but it's the other way around. Emo Trash, what's up? It's great to see you. What's the status on the diaphanous, boys? I don't know. We've had some type of diaphanous. I'm not exactly sure. Let me see here. 1.34 today does not surprise me. Yeah, things have gotten much better. Red Plaza as pizza? Yes, I need some. That's right. You need some pizza. And then he shows up in the theater. What a great shot! I wonder if that's the same theater from Phantom of the Opera. I bet it is. Just dressed differently. I'm almost certain that's the same set from Phantom of the Opera on the Universal lot. How cool is that? Tying things together. Evo is saying coconut crabs in the house. Amen, amen. Tammy D, thank you. Indeed. They probably didn't have the knowledge or proper importance of hygiene 100%. Yeah, Stonewall Jackson, Civil War general for the Confederacy. And look at that face. That just shows his range. Lon Chaney's range was incredible. And look at her. She puts her arms on him, and here you go. It does look like it's the Phantom set. And look, as soon as she feels him, Because she has felt him once before. Watch this. I mourn the destruction of that set too, Corey Landis. It breaks my heart. Really is heartbreaking. You are thinner, Alonzo. Have you been sick? And here's his response. Not sick, but I have lost some flesh. Oof. Oof. And that's the dream, but she is dancing, if you look at it, with the shadow. Almost looks like the pulp shadow. But he is death in that grim cape. And here you go. You can see where I missed some cuts there. How is Kojo? You love him best more than anyone, and here he comes. No, not best. Because he loves her. Yeah, absolutely. Antiseptic technique, absolutely. So Stonewall Jackson died because there were two techniques for treating an amputation, and he had one of his arms amputated when he was shot by his own troops by mistake. And they used these cold compresses, and had it been cauterized, he would have had a better chance. That's what cauterizing was done for people who weren't as senior as him. Isn't that twisted? Yep, Emo's not with us, but there's Emo. That's a crying shame. Yeah, it's crazy. Look at this. And then here it comes. Here's the bombshell. Oh, I forgot. You have been away. I will call him. And here comes the hammer. Look at this. They made us do stuff like that in drama class in high school, getting emotions out without words. Absolutely important. And that is what made Lon Chaney Lon Chaney. That change in the face. And he's still, that poor guy, is still happy to see this man who wants nothing more than for him to be dead. And look at that. I love a good wide shot. Give me a good wide shot. Practically the staircase from The Haunting of Hill House. Or The Haunting, depending on which version of that story you want to see adapted. One is done by, of course, shoot, what is his name? Famous director. I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. Glenn Wise? I'm totally blanking on his name. Hasn't anyone told you the good news, Alonzo? Look at them. Look at his face. So good. Remember how I used to be afraid of his hands? She got better in his absence. In everybody's absence but Alonzo's. I'm sorry, not but Alonzo's, but in Marvar's. I am not anymore. I love them now. Boom. In goes the knife. There you go. Yep, it is. Very cute. And then here he goes. This is why he's Lon Chaney, man. Dang. Alonzo is laughing at the way everything has happened. Yeah, in a sense. Do you need a timeout, John? Yeah, a little bit. And here you go. God dang, was that man special. Just incredible. I remember hearing Ray Bradbury talking about when he got the news of his death. And then he's saying, I did what you told me to do. Like I took your advice and won her over, even though the advice was designed to destroy him. And here you go. And she's seeing how she missed it, I don't know. There you go. Oh man, these two caring people need to get the heck away from him, man. Oof. Yup. Bile and venom. And look at that face. You could, he was a true star. You could get any movie to happen with him. Just a legend. Just a legend. Wow. Incredible. And I tell you what, you're about to head into a tour de force scene coming up here, guys. Brace yourselves in every way possible. There you go, Darth. I'm all right now. Because he's always got a scheme. Such a great shot. Look at her. So angelic in this. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm on the East Coast mercifully. And here it is. It was just something in the in here that stung like the lash of a whip. Interesting segue. Yep, they never stop scheming. People like this are schemers. You watch them, and this is the crazy thing about people, is that I don't think people like this. I think they can sometimes be difficult to spot. These movies are teaching you that they sometimes come to you in the form of somebody seeming vulnerable. But once you figure them out, it's not a mistake. There are certain things that these folks do that are very cliche. What's up, Arhida? How are you doing? Shanth, I'm hungry. Pass a slice. Absolutely. Hey, chat. Who's excited for the 24 hours of Le Mans? Yes, indeed. I actually got that movie for my mother-in-law, so here you go. He's saying, we have an act where they hook you up, hook my arms up to 2 horses pulling. They're on a conveyor belt, timed perfectly so that I can maintain it. And I am lashed to it, and once they start pulling, I can't get my hands free. Yeah, grab yourself a slice of pizza, Art. You see, when the horses are tugging, he could not let go if he wanted to. Dear God. Yes. So it looks like the horses are kind of pulling him full force. And if they decide to run or if they decide to do whatever, no matter how hard it works, it's difficult for them to get anywhere. And here you go, and there's the lever that controls it. And here's the line. And as you pull it, the tread slows down. It's very dangerous. Suppose the treadmill's broke or stopped suddenly. Holy cow, is this guy dark. Not Darth Gutierrez, though. Darth Gutierrez is good people. This guy is dark. If that happens, the horses would tear my arms from my body. That is not the face of concern, my friends. That is not the face of concerns. Do not say that. You make Alonso worry that something will happen. Yeah, Alonso would love for something to happen. Oof. God, that poor bastard. He's so well-meaning. It's terrifying. Do not worry, Alonso. Nothing will happen. We have been rehearsing for weeks. Yeah, but you haven't been rehearsing for weeks with this ghoul waiting for you. And look at how beautiful they are in this shot. It was so fun to adjust the levels a little bit here and there. Yup. Exactly. Exactly, Tammy D. Tammy D knows what she's walked into and what he's walking into. So here we go. An audience of thrills. They've got this act they do. It's successful. The 2 beautiful people. And of course the M for him, Malabar, for his name. Darth Gutierrez, same here. They ruined our state, and now he's running for president. If he wins, he'll turn the entire country to California. There you go. All right, first disarming was bad enough. Yeah, this one's rough. So now you see they've got some high rollers. She's up there as the star of the show, and he's the one performing the feat, but she is not in any kind of perilous danger. In fact, he's in danger, and she is elevated, as opposed to being a sort of faux target. So here you go. Shows that he's got these cables on it. Some of the usual suspects are in the audience watching. The ladies in the audience, he's there for them in the movie theater and in the audience there. And then there's the little "I love you," and it just disgusts an evil man to see people happy. I remember when that became a trend everywhere, where people would say, "Oh, I hate seeing happy couples out on Valentine's Day," and I remember thinking, that's kind of messed up. Do you want to be one? Then work on that. But there's no reason to hate happy people that's not poisonous. Kind of unbelievable. But take a look at this. Here we go. Here's the climax of our film. My God. She's whipping the horses up into a frenzy. And by the way, I love the poster for Othello behind him. It's just great. Yep. There you go. Not her cracking a whip. Yeah, that's right. Move away from those sort of people. Absolutamente, John. Not her cracking a whip. Yep. Like poor folk that hear people seeing people succeed instead of working on their own. Yeah, and it's also just seeing people healthy and happy and being happy for them. Or people making good choices. I couldn't reach Non's robe. Will you get it for me? And so there you go. He goes into the room, and what happens? He gets locked in. Now that guy is trapped, and he has control of the lever. Dear God. And he starts turning off the treadmills. And this, if you've ever had bad shoulders, guys, this is nightmare fuel. Oh, God. Oh. He's still got knives on him that he can throw. We know he can throw with accuracy. Oof. Mikey Getz says, "You would know with your effed up arm." Yes, I do. 100%, man. And then she throws herself in front, and he cannot bear to see her at risk, so he throws her to the ground. And in the process, wham! Incredible. So for Alonzo, there was an end to hate called death. And here's what I like about this Inferno, an end to hate called love. And there you go. Yep, deserved that, but oof. And I can imagine that Lon Chaney was underneath that track with some supports, and that was a dummy from the neck down, because that horse really pounded down on him. Talk about taking one to the chest. Sure indeed. And here you go. Here the two are, united and happy. Malabar, if I live 10 million years. Now she is doing the great thing, repeating the line back to him. I will love you for, and that is the great moment. Romance and comedy, or memory plus specificity, and there you have it, the end of The Unknown. A spectacular, spectacular film that really puts a face, the incredible Lon Chaney Sr. putting a face to true evil, true malice, and yes, happiness wins, because that's what you need during those times, and that's what you need today. We're almost 100 years after this movie. We're 98 years after this movie. And one of the things I want to do on this channel is I want to entertain you guys. I want there to be some fun, scary stuff. Thank you so much, Terry. I loved picking this movie for you guys. You guys are fantastic. And I love putting the positivity out there. So I appreciate that, Terry. When I worked my way up at the job, everyone told me to expect failure because everyone else failed. They were bitter people and surprised when I made it. Not rolling in money, but I took a step up. Absolutely right. And that's what people want. People want the best for you. People who are, I should say, people who are good people that you want to have around want the best for you. And it's so important to protect your enthusiasm and protect your passion for things. And it's also important to cultivate outside of yourself the proper attitude towards seeing people happy and seeing people succeed. And what's so great about these movies is they gave you information. Yeah, great movie, a lot of irony and superb acting. 100%. These guys did an amazing job. In those times, wasn't 27 still fairly lively? Uh, yes, but it was an illusion about to collapse. And plus, they had just come out of World War One. So there was a lot of difficult times for soldiers who returned home to not have their jobs. Soldiers were, that's actually when we started to really diagnose PTSD and shell shock. And post World War One was when things like psychotherapy and things like that and talk therapy were proven to be helpful for soldiers who were suffering from severe shell shock. Actually, one of the more incredible things about that time. Uh, and just incredible to come on the other side of that. And people wanted entertainment. They wanted stuff to take them away. And Universal Pictures delivered that. And it was a family business, guys. It was an American family business. And so when you look at things, it was, of course, during Prohibition and all of that kind of excitement. So there was a lot going on, organized crime, all of that stuff. Well, talk therapy was around. Sigmund Freud was talking about it, but they hadn't found a really great practical application for it. And the practical application came from treating shell shock, where they really started to gain a foothold, which was interesting. And so I think that what's great about seeing movies like this is that there's an opportunity for us to go back to basics. And that's why I'm in Comicsgate. And that's why I'm doing Springball. That's why I'm doing Nosfero. Because, and I didn't even think about this, funny enough, while I was watching the movie, but it's always when I'm talking to you guys that these things pop into my head and I realize something. But where is it? Don't know if I have it where I can get at it. But if you have Nosfero and you've read Nosfero, oh, don't worry, Comrade Sammy, it'll be here. Trial by error, unfortunately, yes, indeed. Yep, shell shock is now known as PTSD, 100%. And the thing about it is, there's a scene in Nosfero where the kid who grows up to become Nosfero has got his arms apart, he's chained, and he's in bondage, and it's about getting to the other side of that. And watching this movie was really powerful because I realized that without knowing it, I'm always kind of citing these great parts of the Universal works, the Universal Pictures works. So I always tell people I'm not going to do a lot of teaching on this channel at this point, but you never know. Whenever I have an idea, it's not my plan. God has a sense of humor and clearly a plan. But people ask me sometimes, what are some good books? Now, everybody knows the Andrew Loomis drawing books. Everybody knows those. But there was another series of books that came out, or series of books that came out before then that aren't as uh, architectural and structured, but are incredibly playful and incredibly beautiful. And that artist's name was Willie Pogany. Drawing Lessons with Willie Pogany. And these books are not expensive. It's $14 this book. And there is so much great stuff in terms of structure and the figure in this book for those of you guys who are wanting to learn how to draw and wanting to get better at figure drawing and figure modeling. There is some fantastic stuff about figure drawing and figure modeling. So if you're looking for a really great book that you may not have heard of before, this is a fun one because it still has that illustrator's playful sensibility to it. And it really breaks things down in a fantastic way if you take a look at these hands and everything that it shows in here. So worth a purchase if you are interested in learning that kind of stuff. I'm working on tons of cool stuff for you guys right now. Shows, all sorts of incredible things. And I cannot wait to share those with you guys. But I'm going to wrap up because I know the Jack Show is on. And a lot of you guys probably ready to head over there. So thank you guys so much for being here and checking out another Pizza Live. Emo Trash, you've been censored, dude. Laugh out loud. It makes movies better. That's right. Yeah, that's right. When you get censored, Emo Trash, it's terrible. This is true. It's a shame when being worse than myself, Comrade Sammy. Is the book you said everyone should have The Marvel Way? Yes, it is. Hang on a second. So this is a great anatomy book if you're looking for something that's a good reference, drawing lessons. But this is the book that anybody interested in becoming a comic book artist should have. It still holds up. I taught for 15 years before I left. let me tell you, I was not having the current, you know, administrative and political nonsense that was going on. But I left at the top of my game. One of the highest waitlisted classes, actually, I think usually the highest waitlisted classes at the Harvard of Art Schools. And I will tell you guys right now, I've watched a lot of artists come and go. People you know who are famous artists and creators. People who've worked on things like Guitar Hero and Bioshock Infinite and all of that kind of stuff. I will say hands down that if you want to be a comic book artist, absolutely get How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. It is a peerless book, but not naming it. What the hell for those of us who know audio on? Okay, it's called Drawing Lessons with Willie Pogany. That's the name of the book, Drawing Lessons with Willie Pogany. And How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way is still one of the finest books on our art form, the American comic book. And it is a really great balance to all of the books that get produced about how to draw manga, some better than others. Um, but there's something very unique about the American comic book and the art form as evolved and perfected by Marvel Comics. So check it out, guys. It's a great book if you want to begin your study. And remember, um, practice as often as you study and have purposeful practice, and you'll be able to improve the stuff that you do. And it may take a long time, but when I look to some of my former students and even some of my current students like Eric Weathers, get a teacher in front of you if you can, and you can move your work and do incredible things. So thank you guys for being here. I do appreciate it. And as I always like to say, speak easy, stay gold, keep the faith, and peace be with you guys. Give nihilism no quarter, and let's keep doing what we do here. Let's make great stuff. And thank you for backing this channel. And thank you guys so much for backing book Springball. The link is in the chat. And also at the top of this, the top of the description right there, you've got Nosfero the Crypt Walker linked there too. That's going to be shutting down completely as a campaign soon. And Springball is past its 60-day funding period, and it's in demand right now. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Tammy D. Appreciate it. Thank you, Lord Hinson. God bless you, man. Comrade Sammy, there you go. It's good to see you. Hollywood is, yeah, well, Hollywood's got its things. Speaking of art books, oh yeah, they're coming to you. The last batch of those book twos. I was looking at them just the other day because I'm getting ready. Totally reworking the studio, guys. I'm going to make this studio room so that I can shoot it from different angles. You guys want a little sneak peek of the work? Give me some ones in the chat. If you guys want a sneak peek at some of the stuff I'm doing in the studio, God help us, I will show you corners of the studio that you've not seen yet, or a corner I'm working on. Okay, we got a one from Emo Trash. Do we got anybody else? Have a good one, Sean. Thank you, Darth Gutierrez. You too. Have a great one. Okay, we got some ones. Rothgar the Dane is sending a one. Okay, guys, here you guys go. So here we go. So here is my desk setup, and then if we move past my easel, you can see that I've now got a sofa set up over there, my Blu-ray collection, and then, of course, I am cleaning out and getting ready my massive bookshelf and book collection there. And I'm going to be organizing that as time goes on, guys. So you guys are going to be able to be a fly on the wall inside of my studio space. And I want to make it so that every corner that I can, at least 3 corners of the studio space, are able to be filmed, because I want to start taking you guys on tours and showing you the crazy amount of books I have in the library, show and tells, all sorts of fun stuff, guys. It's going to be great on this channel. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. And if you are subscribed, make sure you hit that bell for notifications. And think about becoming a channel member, because every bit helps. God bless you guys, and it's great to see you. How much you want for it, Shop? I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. Sean's organizing, I think, just felt hell freeze over. Yeah, it absolutely did. If Rocky had been in here when I was cleaning, still, he would be mortified. Yeah, it's a small space, but I'm making it comfy for you guys. We're going to have a lot of fun. A lot of fun, guys. All right, guys, take care. I will see you guys soon. God bless you, and have a wonderful time. We'll be back with another stream soon. And here are all my channel members in the credits, guys. Thank you for supporting the channel. God bless you. I'll see you soon.